Module 1. Unit 1. The nature of literacy. Literacy forms the cornerstone of education, shaping individuals' ability to interact with the world through reading, writing, speaking, and understanding. In today's ever-evolving landscape of education, the significance of effective literacy instruction cannot be overstated. This foundational aspect of education intertwines with theories of literacy, learning, and language development, emphasizing the profound impact of culture, language, and emerging literacies. Equally important are the educators themselves, whose effectiveness determines the success of these initiatives. A cornerstone of literacy education is understanding how individuals learn and develop language. Theories such as those proposed by Vygotsky and Piaget shed light on the dynamics of learning. Vygotsky, for instance, introduced the concept of the zone of proximal development, ZPD, which highlights the gap between what a learner can accomplish independently and what they can achieve with guidance from a more knowledgeable individual. This perspective underscores the importance of interaction and collaboration in learning, contrasting with Piaget's emphasis on individual exploration. Vygotsky's approach highlights that learning is inherently social and reliant on the guidance of teachers and peers who scaffold the learner's experiences. Teachers play a pivotal role in shaping the literacy journeys of their students. According to Presley, Allington, Wharton MacDonald, Block, and Morrow, the most outstanding characteristic of highly effective teachers is their unwavering belief in their students' potential to learn. This belief manifests in their actions, encouraging students to overcome challenges and achieve success. Such teachers create environments where every student feels valued and capable. They use constructive feedback and maintain high expectations, fostering resilience and motivation among learners. Language acquisition is a fundamental aspect of literacy development, especially in young children. When a child says, "We eat at our lunch," it demonstrates that language learning is a constructive process. Children actively build their understanding of grammar and vocabulary through experimentation, often overgeneralizing rules before refining their knowledge. This process exemplifies how learners internalize language patterns through interaction and practice, a reflection of both cognitive development and social engagement. Cultural and linguistic diversity also profoundly influence literacy learning. Students' cultural backgrounds shape their prior knowledge, linguistic proficiency, and engagement with texts. Effective teachers recognize the value of students' cultural and linguistic identities, leveraging them as assets in the classroom. By incorporating culturally responsive practices, educators help students connect with the material and develop a deeper understanding of texts. The current state of literacy among elementary and middle school students reflects progress over the years. Data indicates that today's students are reading better than in past decades, a testament to the success of various literacy initiatives and evidence-based practices. However, there remains room for improvement, particularly in addressing disparities among different demographic groups. National programs like the Common Core State Standards and the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, aim to provide equitable opportunities for all learners by setting high expectations and fostering accountability. ESSA, in particular, underscores the importance of preparing students to be college and career ready. This goal aligns with broader educational reforms aimed at equipping students with the skills necessary to thrive in a rapidly changing world. By emphasizing evidence-based practices and continuous progress monitoring, ESSA advocates for teaching methods that are both effective and adaptable to diverse learning needs. Integral to effective literacy instruction are the principles that guide teaching practices. Teachers must create environments that promote active engagement, scaffold learning, and encourage critical thinking. This involves not only delivering content, but also fostering students' ability to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information. These principles are critical in cultivating lifelong learners who can navigate complex texts and contribute meaningfully to society. The role of teachers extends beyond instruction. they are mentors, facilitators, and advocates for their students. By believing in their students' capabilities, they inspire confidence and perseverance. Effective teachers are not merely transmitters of knowledge, but collaborators in the learning process. They adapt their strategies to meet the needs of their students, recognizing that each learner brings unique strengths and challenges to the classroom. Theories of literacy learning provide valuable insights into the processes that underpin reading and writing. Constructivist approaches, for example, emphasize the active role of learners in constructing meaning from texts. This perspective aligns with the idea that literacy development is not a passive reception of information, but an active, dynamic process. Similarly, sociocultural theories highlight the influence of social interactions and cultural contexts on literacy practices. These theories reinforce the importance of creating inclusive and supportive learning environments where all students can thrive. Literacy is also deeply intertwined with language development. Students' proficiency in their first language often influences their ability to acquire a second language. For multilingual learners, the interplay between languages can either facilitate or hinder their literacy progress. Teachers must be attuned to these dynamics, providing support that respects and builds upon students' linguistic backgrounds. The integration of technology and new forms of literacy further enriches the educational landscape. Digital literacies, for instance, expand the ways in which students interact with texts. From multimedia presentations to online research, these tools offer diverse opportunities for learning and expression. Teachers must navigate these innovations thoughtfully, ensuring that technology enhances rather than detracts from the learning experience. Ultimately, the success of literacy instruction hinges on the synergy between theory, practice, and the educator's role. By grounding their methods in research-based principles and maintaining high expectations for their students, teachers can foster environments where all learners achieve their fullest potential. The journey of literacy learning is not without its challenges, but with dedication, collaboration, and a commitment to equity, educators can empower students to navigate and contribute to an increasingly complex world. The essence of literacy extends beyond reading and writing. It encompasses the ability to think critically, communicate effectively, and engage meaningfully with the world. As students develop these skills, they are not only preparing for academic and professional success, but also for active participation in society. Literacy is, at its core, a transformative process, one that equips individuals with the tools to understand themselves and the world around them. Through the efforts of effective teachers and the application of sound pedagogical principles, the promise of literacy as a cornerstone of education can be realized for all learners. Unit 2. Teaching all students. In today's classrooms, the diversity of student populations requires teachers to adapt their approaches to literacy instruction. English language learners, ELLs, students with learning disabilities, economically disadvantaged students, and gifted learners all present unique needs that educators must address. Teaching literacy to all students demands a nuanced understanding of these differences and the ability to implement inclusive, evidence-based strategies that foster success for every learner. Students make the most progress when they read materials in which they are already familiar with a significant portion of the vocabulary. According to research by Gambrell, Wilson, and Gant, 1981, Nation, 2001, and Schmidt, Jiang, and Grabe, 2011, progress is most effective when students know between 95 to 98% of the words. This highlights the importance of providing appropriate, leveled texts that balance challenge with accessibility. For English learners, ELs, this approach is particularly critical as they often face the dual challenge of acquiring language skills while developing literacy. The response to intervention, RTI, and multi-tiered systems of support, MTSS, frameworks have proven effective in addressing diverse literacy needs. These approaches aim to do whatever it takes to bring all students to their fullest literacy potential. By using data-driven methods to identify and address learning gaps, RTI and MTSS ensure that struggling readers, as well as advanced learners, receive the targeted support they need. This individualized attention can help prevent long-term literacy challenges and set all students on a path to academic success. One key aspect of teaching literacy to ELLs is understanding how long it takes to acquire academic English. Research shows that it typically takes at least 5 years for ELL students to develop the language skills necessary to succeed in academic settings. This timeline underscores the importance of patience and sustained support for these learners. Additionally, writing instruction in English should be introduced early, as immediate exposure to both reading and writing fosters a more comprehensive language acquisition process. For instance, students benefit from formal instruction in reading and writing English after they have a sufficient grasp of both English and their native language, as this approach builds on their existing linguistic foundation. Economically disadvantaged students face unique barriers to literacy, often linked to limited access to resources and educational support outside the classroom. Despite these challenges, research indicates that students from impoverished backgrounds progress at approximately the same rate during the school year as their more affluent peers. However, disparities emerge during the summer months when access to enriching literacy experiences often declines for economically disadvantaged students. This phenomenon, commonly referred to as the summer slide, highlights the need for targeted interventions and resources to support literacy development year-round. Students with learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, face specific challenges that require specialized instructional strategies. Dyslexia, characterized by difficulties in reading fluency, decoding, and comprehension, can significantly hinder academic progress if left unaddressed. These students often struggle with acquiring new concepts, which can make traditional literacy instruction ineffective. Teachers must employ evidence-based approaches that emphasize phonemic awareness, structured literacy, and personalized interventions to help these learners succeed. For example, glosses, which provide brief explanatory notes on difficult terms, can be particularly helpful for struggling readers and ELLs by offering immediate clarification without disrupting the reading flow. For students with attention deficit disorder, ADD, estimated to affect 5 to 11% of U.S. students, managing focus and engagement in literacy tasks is crucial. These learners benefit from structured, interactive activities that keep them actively involved in their learning. Techniques such as breaking reading tasks into manageable chunks and using multisensory approaches can help maintain their attention and foster literacy growth. One of the most pressing challenges in literacy instruction is addressing the fourth grade slump, particularly among students from low-income backgrounds. This slump often occurs when schooling becomes more academic and abstract, demanding higher levels of critical thinking and comprehension. Teachers must anticipate these challenges by scaffolding instruction and gradually increasing the complexity of texts and tasks to ensure a smooth transition for students. For example, incorporating culturally relevant texts that reflect students' backgrounds and experiences can make abstract concepts more accessible and engaging. Culture and language play a central role in shaping students' literacy experiences. Teachers must recognize and accommodate the diverse languages, dialects, and literary heritages that students bring to the classroom. Providing ELLs with the same high-quality education as native speakers is essential, as it ensures equitable opportunities for academic success. This goal aligns with the broader purpose of holding ELLs to the same standards as native speakers, to provide them with an education that prepares them for future academic and career endeavors. Developing a literacy program tailored to diverse populations requires teachers to be flexible and innovative in their instruction. For instance, they might use differentiated instruction, to address the varying needs of students within the same classroom. This approach allows teachers to provide targeted support to struggling readers while simultaneously challenging gifted learners. Additionally, fostering a classroom environment that values diversity and inclusivity helps all students feel respected and motivated to engage with literacy activities. An effective literacy program also integrates strategies that build on students' strengths and address their challenges. For example, teaching students how to identify factual statements, such as, "I think it's going to rain today," helps develop critical thinking skills that are essential for navigating complex texts. Similarly, scaffolding instruction for students with intellectual disabilities who often struggle with acquiring new concepts can provide the support needed to make meaningful progress in reading and writing. The ultimate goal of literacy instruction is to empower all students to become proficient readers and writers who can navigate the demands of the modern world. By understanding the unique needs of diverse learners and implementing evidence-based strategies, teachers can create inclusive learning environments where every student has the opportunity to succeed. Whether through targeted interventions for struggling readers, enrichment opportunities for gifted students, or culturally responsive practices for ELLs, effective literacy instruction requires a commitment to meeting students where they are and helping them reach their full potential. Literacy is more than a skill. It is a gateway to opportunity and empowerment. For students from all walks of life, the ability to read, write, and think critically opens doors to academic achievement, personal growth, and active participation in society. Through thoughtful, inclusive, and innovative approaches to teaching, educators can ensure that every student, regardless of their background or abilities, has the tools they need to thrive.